Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Power Access Deluxe, and I want to go over its features and talk to you about some of the pluses and the negatives about this tool. Now this tool has a lot of pluses and there are only about 2 negatives that I have found so far with this tool. So let's go ahead and start with the positives. We notice that this is going to be a nice full-length multi-tool. It's going to come in at 8.7 ounces. This is going to be a direct competitor to the Leatherman Wave. This is going to have the compound leverage system, which I love from SOG. You'll notice it will have very good pliers. It will have the wire cutters, and then you can use this, at least I would, for the wire crimpers as well. So that's something that you could do. Now, on the handle, there are a couple extra functions, but they are not going to be extremely helpful. We do have a ruler. I hope you can see that. It's going to be imperial and it will be metric as well. And then on the top here, we are going to have a protractor of sorts to measure angles, but it's so small, I don't know how useful that's actually going to be. Now, one of the very useful aspects of this tool is the bit driver on the back. And I think that is something very clever that SOG has added, and I really love that feature. So you get a screwdriver, and when these come brand new, they come with a pouch, and then they come with a bit kit. This came with my Power Access Assist, but something similar comes with the Deluxe. And then you can go ahead and use that kit for the bit holder. All right, so let's look at the outside tools. Now this is another thing that SOG does really well on their Access Assist Deluxe. And that is going to be that all the tools are going to be outside opening. So this is going to remind you of the Leatherman Free P2 or P4, and it is really nice to have them all able to be accessed by the outside. So let's go ahead and just open all these up. And it's going to have a fairly good tool complement. We're going to have the knife, then we are going to have the can opener with a smaller screwdriver. We're going to have the serrated blade, and then this micro driver with the Phillips, and then this is going to be the bottle opener and also a screwdriver on this side. So pretty good complement there. Then we're going to have the saw. We are going to have the chisel, and this can double as a larger screwdriver if you're brave enough to try it. I did end up messing mine up in my other multi-tool from SOG that has this. And then we do have the socket adapter 1/4 inch. You can use this for a 1/4 inch sockets, or you can use the adapter from SOG and then put the bits inside as well. And then this ends up being a bit driver. Then this is the file, or not the file, this is the awl. And then you do have the eyelet as well. And this is the file, the 3-sided file. And this is the grain on the other side as well. And I don't think the camera is going to focus very well, but anyway, that's how that is. All right, so overall, it's a fairly competent tool. I like that it has the micro driver. They've added the saw and the serrated blade. I believe you get most of the rest on the Power Access Assist, or the SOG Power Access, rather. All the powers with SOG, all their power lock, their access assist, their power assist, it gets a little confusing, but anyway, so this is going to be the toolkit with just the Power Access, no Deluxe. And then with the Deluxe, you do get the serrated blade, and then you do get the saw as well. So those are going to be 2 extra tools. And then I think it will add the 1/4 inch socket adapter. I did not realize that. So you will get that as well. But yeah, so that is an extra tool that they add in as well. So anyway, there is some value in the Deluxe. It definitely adds a couple tools, at least 3 new tools to the multi-tool, so that's nice. Now let's talk about the negatives. So first of all, this is going to be a direct competitor to the Leatherman Wave. One of the positives is it comes in at $80, definitely cheaper than the Leatherman Wave. I think about $20 cheaper, so that's a plus. But the negative is that it has thinner tools that just seem less robust. So for instance, let's bring in, this is going to be essentially SOG's answer to the Leatherman Surge, which I feel like does a really good job actually. But notice the difference in the blade thickness. This is just going to be a lot smaller. Now I understand this is not trying to compete with the Leatherman Surge, but even so, I feel like the Leatherman Wave just has a little bit of a thicker tool set to some extent, and just some of the tools seem a little bit more robust. And then the second negative that I find is that it doesn't have a pocket clip. So the Leatherman Wave definitely has a pocket clip. I know it is replaceable, or you can take it off, but it still has the option. And the power assist right here, or the power access rather, does have a very nice pocket clip. I just really wish they had added that to the Deluxe. So I find that for myself, unless it's going to be a very heavy multi-tool like this 10-ounce power access assist, I really don't care for carrying a pouch with me. It's just another thing to load down my belt, and I'm just not a fan. So when we have these, you know, this is going to be somewhere between 6 ounces, this is 8.7, this is 10 ounces. So to be honest, if I had the choice, I would just go with these two. I really don't see a purpose with this to some extent if I have to carry it in a pouch. Now, it does add a lot of other tools. If you don't want this and you don't want this, then this sort of does try to add a blend of those tool sets together, and then you can just have a medium duty tool set, and if you don't mind carrying it in a pouch, then that's fine. So overall, I feel like it does add a lot of competence. It does have a couple negatives, but I feel like it still is another good multi-tool from SOG. And a lot of times these multi-tools are very handy, and I feel like they're pretty good, and they are sort of overlooked. A lot of people buy Gerber or Leatherman, but I feel like SOG has been coming out with some pretty good multi-tools. I'll try to leave some links in the description below so you can buy them, and everything you buy off Amazon does help the channel.